Creating a vision board fundamentally changes the way I move through the year. It's my compass for creating the year that I want, and it's a tool that I've used for 5 years in a row now to train my attention and my decisions on the things that matter most to me by priming my subconscious to pay attention to those things. I don't use my vision board to dream about the future. I use it to create my dream future in the present moment. So if you're someone who continually creates goals and never really remembers them or never sticks to them, then I'm going to tell you why vision boards are exactly the tool that you need to get unstuck and to create real lasting momentum for the year ahead. In this video, I'm going to explain my method for creating my vision board, why in my opinion it is the best tool for creating long-term change in your life. I'll go through all of the things that made it off my vision board this year in 2025 and share with you some of the key things that are on my 2026 vision board that I'm going to be bringing into the new year. Before we get stuck in, this video is episode 3 in the Creating My Dream Life series. Episode 1 was me taking you through my 90-day goals for the first half of my 180-day challenge, and episode 2 was showing you how I'm making remote working work for me by working from cafes. In this case, it was from a cafe in Notting Hill. So yeah, super fun. And this is episode 3, so I hope you enjoy. Part 1 is my tried and tested method for creating and using my vision board. So I'm going to take you to Laptop Lucy and show you the process there. So this is my tried and tested method for creating a vision board. It is really simple. You don't need to worry about any faff of going to printing shops and making a physical vision board. Personally, I just find that a digital one is so much more useful and is something that I genuinely use all the time. So firstly, you want to open up Pinterest or any sort of search engine that is your preference. Find a load of images on there that represent something to you. These can be places you want to visit, experiences you want to have, things you want to do, feelings you want to create, quotes you want to live your year by, or things that you want to achieve. I tend to think about any trips I have planned already, things that are in the pipeline that I want to put on there to make sure that they happen, any sort of goals that I want to achieve, and particularly hobbies I find are quite fun to put on here as well. The second step is then to download all of those images to your laptop and upload them to Canva. I prefer using Canva because it's nice and easy, but you can use whatever works for you. I tend to have quite a lot of images just because I like it to be quite busy and to be something that is going to continually inspire me throughout the year. If it's something more simple with fewer images, I feel like that can work really well too, but my preference is for there to always be things that are going to spark my interest throughout the year, so I like to have as much on there as possible. Once I've got all the images in Canva, I'll then play around with the layout, and here there's a few different ways you can do it. You can either group it sort of throughout the year, moving through different seasons, or you can group it by sort of different kinds of things like travel, lifestyle, health, friends, relationships, whatever you want to have on there. And yeah, do this in whichever way works for you. I love to have a sort of central image that really sort of represents how I want to feel, and this is mine this year, which sort of represents like openness and expansiveness. It's not necessarily that I want to visit a place like this, although that would be really cool. It's more just like the feeling that that conjures up, the reflection, the space, the sort of grandness and like big vision. That's what I'm trying to create this year. Once I have all of the images on my vision board in a layout that works for me, I'll then just download that and set it as my laptop home screen, which is what I'm going to do now. Okay, this is the final step. I'm just going to export or download rather my vision board, and then it's going to be set as my new home screen for the year. But yeah, the most important thing is that each photo needs to really resonate with you and conjure up some feeling or emotion, because if it's just on there for the aesthetics, it won't have that pull to you throughout the year. And I think that's just really important to have some association with that image, whether it is directly related to the image itself, like a place that you want to visit, or whether the image sort of brings up a feeling of how you want to feel throughout the year. Either way, absolutely fine. But I think it is so important to make it something that actually matters to you, not just something that's on there to look good. Part 2 is all about why vision boards are the best tool, in my opinion, for long-term goal setting and creating that lasting vision for what you want to achieve. This is not something that I create once every new year and never look at again. It's something that I actively use Every day, pretty much, whenever I open my laptop, it's there and I'm looking at it. And while I'm actively using it, it's not something I'm actively remembering to use. And I think there's a big difference there. The reason this is such a useful tool is because it doesn't require you to remember to look at it. If it's something that you've put in a useful place, like a laptop home screen, for example, you're going to automatically look at it because it's something that is visually appealing to you and something that is making you feel something. That's why the first step is so important, to make sure it's something that actually aligns with you, because then every time you look at it, you're going to have some emotion created and it's going to make you want to actively spend even 5-10 seconds looking at it, and that will prime your subconscious about the things that are most important to you and the things that you're working on this year. There's always that bit of time when you first turn your laptop on, you look at it then, when you want a bit of distraction between tasks at work and it's immediately there to look at. Or sometimes you might want to more actively sit down and sit and reflect on the things that are on there and whether they still align with you. But either way, it is such a useful tool just to have, easily accessible and something that you're continuously going to look at. It's exactly the same thing as when you are influenced by adverts that you see. When you see something on your Instagram feed or you see something on a billboard or any advert on TV, you're getting that little reminder that that thing exists, and it's exactly the same thing with your vision board. You're essentially influencing yourself to act in a direction that you've already predetermined, and this is where the compass metaphor really comes into its own, because it's a way for you to set that compass, that North Star that you're aiming towards, and for you to continuously know whether you're aligning with it throughout the year, and to avoid being taken in all sorts of directions by other people's ideas of where you should be headed. So it can definitely happen in that more sort of passive way of being influenced by the things that you're surrounded by. But sometimes I love to use my vision board as more of an active tool. I sit and spend 5-10 minutes looking at my vision board and thinking, what have I achieved so far? What has come to life in this year so far? And what do I still need to work on? And sometimes I might look at one of the pictures on there and think, you know what? I can do that this week and I can make that a reality. And if it hadn't have been on there, I probably wouldn't have had that little reminder that it was something that was important to me. And it would have just taken so much longer for me to sit down and look at my goals, and that friction would have meant that I probably didn't do it in the first place. So yeah, by putting those little things on there that you want to do throughout the year, you might give your future self opportunities to just make that happen in their week. And I think that's one of the best things about vision boards, is that it just makes that so easy and makes things come into your life that might actually be quite easy to achieve, but that you might just forget are important to you as you go throughout your year and get sidetracked by other things going on. So yeah, I just think it is such a useful tool, and like I said at the start, I've used it for 5 years in a row now, and every year I'm so impressed by how well it works, and I just think it's the best tool for goal setting throughout your year. So now for the fun bit. This is all of the things that have come true off my 2025 vision board. I find this so fun every year just to see how many things have happened, and also to remember that you were in a really different position this time last year and see the amount of progress that's possible. Honestly, it's amazing how much can happen in a year, and yeah, so much of this has come true this year, which is incredible. I've been to Berlin with Freya. We did a little trip there, and even replicating some of the photos without meaning to, little things like that is so strange. We also did a trip to Prague, which was so much fun. I had an amazing holiday in the summer with my friends, and we went to Greece, which was on this vision board. These are the photos associated with that. I have indeed been filming a lot on my Osmo Pocket 3, which is what I'm using right now, and it's just allowed me to capture so many amazing moments throughout this year. So I'm so grateful for getting this Pocket 3 last year, because it's just expanded the amount of things that I can film, and it is so discreet and easy to film with, but such high quality, and this gimbal is incredible. So I'm incredibly grateful for this camera. It's fantastic. One of the key themes that I wanted for this year was kindness, and through doing therapy and things, I have really improved my inner critic and allowed that to quieten down quite a bit and replaced it with a kinder voice. So that's been actually such a big self-growth moment, and yeah, I'm really proud of myself for doing all that this year. We've done so many fun London things. We went to Columbia Road Flower Market a few times in the spring, which I can't wait to do again this year. Lots of lovely coffees around the city. I got my pink and red Adidas trainers for my birthday, which I literally wear to death. They're amazing. I've been to bookshops, to art galleries. I really wanted to try some new activities as well, and we definitely did that at Centre Parks. We did like paddle tennis, we did badminton, we did normal tennis, we did squash, and like, I don't know, so many fun games. I would sort of like to try and do that a bit more consistently. So yeah, halfway on that one, I suppose. And another big goal on here was to reach 1,000 subscribers, which I haven't done, but I have been really consistent with YouTube and I've enjoyed it the whole year. I keep making videos, I keep really enjoying it. I feel like I'm learning so much in the process. The thing that like keeps me so invested in YouTube is the opportunity to just make a video 1% better every time. There's the editing you can improve, the filming, the scripting, the title and the thumbnail, the format, the camera angles. Like there's so many different things you can improve every time, and it's just like an infinite game of improvement. So I love it, it's so much fun. And also the final thing, which happened like right at the start of the year, so it almost feels like it was last year, was moving in with my friends, which has been such an amazing part of this year and I've loved it. So I'm so glad that happened, and yeah, there's just been so many lovely chill moments, chatting, watching telly, like having dinner, having breakfast, all of those moments. Very grateful for that. Another little mantra to finish up that was on here is, if this isn't nice, I don't know what is. And I feel like I've had that in my head throughout this year, reminding myself that there's so much to be grateful for. And yeah, I'm happy that that was at the heart of this year. And the final part of the video is a sneak peek into my 2026 vision board, which I have been making throughout the course of this week in preparation for this video. I'm so excited about all of the things on here, and I feel like this is going to be such a good year. I'm turning 25 this year, and ever since I was little, I always had it in my head that when I was 25, I was going to sort of be a proper adult and like have everything figured out, and I don't know, just in my head it was a really cool age to be, and so I'm going to be turning 25 this year. So yeah, there's a lot of different images on this vision board, as you can probably see on the screen right now, and a lot of them are conveying a sense of openness, because I really want to be a bit more expressive about all of the things that I'm doing and the things that I'm thinking and feeling, and be a bit less shy, really. I'm excited to see where that would take me. It feels like quite a scary, daunting prospect. Inner confidence and outer confidence are different things. I feel like I'm building up that sense of inner confidence recently, but it'll be great to express that more and just be a bit less scared of what people think and share my opinions without filtering them too much. Another little section that I want to mention is some travel points. I would love to go to the Balkans. My friends and I that I live with are planning a little backpacking trip around the Balkans, which is so random and just feels very like us as a group, but I think it'll be such a fun trip. So I'm excited to plan that and to live it out in real life. I'd also love to continue making remote work for me by going and working from some different locations. I'd love to go to Lisbon, and I feel like remote working there for a week could be feasible. I'd also love to improve my French and go and work somewhere in France for a week and speak French and push myself to do that. I did French A-level and loved it. I love language learning, I love French in particular, and I've sort of forgotten a lot of it, which is sad and a shame. So I think it would be cool if I could pick up some French again this year. I also really want to go skiing, which is all booked, so I'm very excited about that trip. I've put some filming locations on there of places in London where I feel like it would be so cool to film a video. That would be another sort of bit of a push out of my comfort zone, so I'd love to try that. And the final thing is just like enjoying Sunday and Saturday mornings, going and getting coffee with Freya or my friends, playing some card games at a cafe, or like painting or something. I feel like that would just be such a lovely, wholesome way to spend my time, and just, yeah, so fun. And I'm just so excited to live another full year being in London. I absolutely love it. So very, very excited in general. But yeah, that's just a little sneak peek into my vision board. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you found it useful, please leave me a comment and tell me which was the most useful aspect of this video so I can inform my future planning. And I hope you have a lovely Christmas and a lovely New Year. Have a wonderful 2026, and I'll see you in the next instalment of my Creating My Dream Life series. Bye.